So students, let's continue the P block element chapter, and in the previous part we have studied about the hydrides. Okay, I have discussed with you about the hydrides. Now I am discussing with you about the formation of oxides. Okay, with the group 15 elements, which kind of oxides are being found out here, we are going to study in this particular part. So reaction with reaction with oxygen. Okay, means we are going to form the oxides here with the group 15 elements. Okay, so what are the different properties which we are going to see here when the group 15 elements are reacted with the oxygen? Okay, so here the elements I am going to make a table here, and with that table we are going to see that what kind of compounds are being found. Okay, so in one part, in the column side we are going to see the elements, and in the row side we are going to see the oxidation state of that particular elements. So the first element here is nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, and bismuth. Oxidation state +1, +2, +3, +4, and +5. These are the five oxidation states which we are generally seeing when oxygen is been reacted with the group 15 elements. Okay, so for the first, that is nitrogen, N2O is there, nitrous oxide, NO is there, nitric oxide, N2O3 is there, dinitrogen trioxide. Okay, dinitrogen tetroxide, and last one is dinitrogen pentaoxide. Okay, these are some of the compounds of oxygen found with nitrogen. Next is for phosphorus. Phosphorus forms P4O6, phosphorus trioxide, phosphorus trioxide, P4O8, phosphorus tetraoxide. Okay, and P4O10, that is phosphorus pentaoxide. Next, the arsenic. Okay, for the arsenic, we will see here only two types of oxides will be there. As2O3, that is uh, arsenic trioxide, and the last is the arsenic pentoxide. Okay, only these two compounds will be found out with the oxygen by the arsenic. Next, for antimony also only two, that is Sb2O3, that is antimony trioxide, and antimony pentaoxide will be found out. Last, for bismuth also, bismuth trioxide, and bismuth pentaoxide is being found. Okay, and here we will see that on moving down in the group, we will see an increase in the acidic character of the compounds which is found out. Okay, acidic nature increases here, acidic character increases, acidic character decreases here. Okay, it will start to decrease out as we are moving down in the group. The acidic character is decreasing, acidic character decrease, acidic character decreases out. Okay, so this is the characteristics of acidic character for the different oxide which is formed by the group 15 elements. Okay, let's move further and see the next type of reactions for the group 15 element, that is reaction with halogens of the group 15 elements. So nitrogen, okay, group 15 elements forms halides. Okay, they form halides of the general formula EX3. They form the halides of the general formula EX3 and EX5, where E can be nitrogen. Okay, where E can be nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, and bismuth, while X can be fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. bromine and iodine. So the trihalides which are formed by the group 15 elements, they are the trihalides, means the general formula EX3. Okay, for that the trihalides which are formed, the let's talk about the chemistry of this trihalides. So the structure, first let's discuss the structure of the trihalides. So the structure of the trihalides is tetrahedral. Okay, it is tetrahedral. You will see that they are having tetrahedral structure somewhat like this. Okay, not tetrahedral, sorry, it is pyramidal. Okay, it is pyramidal structure somewhat like this with a lone pair on the group 15 elements. Okay, and X are the halogen atoms. So sp3 hybridization will be found out here, and after sp3 hybridization the covalent bonds will be formed out here with the uh, with the halogens here. Okay, and the structure is the pyramidal structure. What is the bond angle? So the bond angle for pf3, it is 96.3. Okay, pf3 it is 96.3. pf5 it is sorry, pf3 it is 96.3. pcl3 it is 100.4. Okay, degree. For pbr3 the angle will increase more and it will become 101, and for pi3 it becomes 102. So this is the bond angle for different tri halides of the phosphorus. Okay, properties of trihalides. The group 15 trihalides, the group 15 trihalides are having covalent and bonds. So okay, but they are having some ionic nature. Okay, they are having some ionic nature as we are going down in the group. Okay, as we are going down in the group, we will see that BiF3 is having more ionic character as comparison to that of the covalent character. Okay, BiF3 will be more ionic in character. Okay, it will be having more ionic character. Out of all the trihalides of nitrogen are least stable. Okay, we will see that the trihalides of nitrogen, that is NF3, is least stable. Least stable. Okay, and in sorry, not NF3. We will see that NF3 is stable, but NCl3 is explosive. We will see that NCl is explosive. Okay, NBr3 and Ni3 are the known there, are known only as their unstable ammoniates. Okay, they are also known as their unstable ammoniates. So NBr3 can be formed in the form of NBr3 dot NH3. Okay, similarly Ni3 can be found out in the form of Ni3 dot NH3. They are being found out in the ammoniate forms only. Okay, pure forms of them cannot be found out. Pure and NBr3 can also explode at 173 Kelvin. Also, it is a very dangerous compound. Okay, so what happens when we are taking in dry state? We are taking Ni3 or NBr3. Then Ni3, that is the um, triiodide of ammoniate of nitrogen. Here the reaction will take place, 5 and 2 plus 9I2 plus 6 NH4I. Okay, this will be the reaction which takes place here, and NCl3, NBr3 and NBr are unstable because of the NX bond here. Okay, they are unstable because of the presence of NX bond, which is very weak. Okay, which is very weak due to high difference in size. Okay, due to large difference in size, that is N is very smaller and X is very N is um, smaller, is larger as comparison to that of the X atoms. Okay, so hence but in case of fluorine, we will see that nitrogen and fluorine are having some about same structure. Okay, same radius of atom, that is 75 picometer it is for nitrogen and 72 picometer is for fluorine. So hence we will see that the NF3, it is more stable as comparison to the other chlorine chlorides, trichlorides, tribromides or triiodides of nitrogen, okay, because of their large difference in their size. Okay, it is the formation, the NF3 is an exothermic compound. Okay, it is an exothermic compound, and because of the stability it behaves quite differently from the other trihalide compounds. It is unreactive. Okay, it is unreactive, and it is unreactive and with water, dilute acids or alkali. However, it does reacts only with sparked with water vapors. Okay, it only reacts with when sparked with water vapors. PF3 is rather less reactive as comparison. We will see that the phosphorus trifluoride, it is also rather less reactive towards water and is more easily handled than other halides. Okay, PF3 is also having the same nature as that of the NS3, that is less reactive. It is less reactive. NF3 and PF3 are the elements which are less reactive in the trihalides or rather other halides. Okay. Now the third thing which we are going to see here is that the trihalides are easily hydrolyzed by water. Okay, we can easily hydrolyze the trihalides. For example, NCl3. When hydrolyzed with water, they will form ammonia and hypochlorous acid. Hypochlorous acid. Similarly, PCl3, when hydrolyzed, it will form phosphine, sorry, not phosphine, uh, phosphorus acid. It will form phosphorus acid and HCl. Okay, so this type of products or this type of behavior is seen when for with the halides when treated with water. Okay, when hydrolyzed. Also, antimony, when hydrolyzed, they show a reversible reaction and forms antimony oxychloride. Antimony oxychloride, which is an ionic compound. Okay, which is an ionic compound with 2HCl. Similarly, bismuth also shows same type of nature, and they also form bismuth oxychloride, which is also a reversible reaction. Bismuth oxychloride with 2HCl. Okay. So according to the Le-Chatelier's principle, if large amount of HCl is been produced, if is been taken out there in the last two reactions, that is antimony chloride reaction and antimony trichloride reaction and bismuth trichloride hydrolysis, then the reaction will shift towards the reaction will shift towards the left. Okay, the reaction will shift towards the left there. Okay, let's move further and see the reaction of trifluorides and conversion of trifluorides into pentafluorides. So we can convert the phosphorus trifluorides into pentafluorides by reacting it with F2, that is difluorides, and we will form PF5, that is pentafluoride, phosphorus pentafluoride. Antimony trifluoride can also react with 2F minus ions to form SbF5 2 minus. Okay, it will form a complex compound here. Okay, it will form a complex compound here, and complex compounds are represented in a square box. SbF5 2 minus charge, and an ion will be formed out here, that is a complex compound here. Similarly, SbCl3 plus 2Cl minus, it will form a complex anion, that is SbCl5 2 minus. Okay, the Lewis acid strength, however, decreases in this order. Here we will see that the trihalides which are found, they are having Lewis acid nature. Okay, they are having Lewis acid nature, and on going down in the group, the Lewis acid strength will be decreasing out here. Will be decreasing out here. Okay. Similarly, the PF3 has has higher Lewis acid character as comparison to that of PCl3, as comparison to that of PBr3, as comparison to that of PI. Let's talk about the next type of halides, that is pentahalides. Pentahalides. The pentahalides of group 15 elements are thermally less stable. Okay, they are thermally less stable. They are thermally less stable than trihalides. We will see that they are thermally less stable than that of the trihalides. Okay, so here let's talk about the pentahalides and the what is the reason why they are not thermally stable as comparison to that of trihalide. The reason is that as we go down in the group, the stability of plus 5 state decreases. We will see that we have studied this thing in the previous topics also, that on going down in the group, when we are going down in the 15th group, we will see that the stability of plus 5 decreases. Okay, the stability of plus 5 decreases, and the chances of making more plus 3 compounds increases out there. Okay, increases stability. Okay, increases stability will be seen in the plus 3 oxidation state as comparison to that of the plus 5 oxidation state in the elements such as bismuth and antimony. Okay, so therefore the pentahalides of bismuth are not known except for BiF5 only. Okay, BiF5 is possible. We will see that BiF5 is possible, but BiCl5 and all the other fluoride, all the other halides in the penta form with bismuth is unknown. As the size of the next reason is that as the size of halogen atoms increases from fluorine to iodine. Okay, we will see that the smallest size is for fluorine, then chlorine, then bromine, then iodine is having the largest size for halogens. Okay, so the strength of ex bond decreases out there. Okay, the strength of ex bond decreases out there. It means that if we are forming pf5, the strength of bond, okay, the strength of bond, it start to decrease. Okay, it starts to decrease. So strength of bond will decrease, pcl5, pbr5 and pi5. We will see that the strength of the particular bonds are decreasing due to the increased size in the halogen atoms. Okay. Next, how we are going to prepare these pentahalides. Okay, so how we are going to prepare the pentahalides? Preparation of pentahalides. 3PCl3 plus 5AsF3 gives 3PF5 plus 5AsCl3. Okay, this is one way where arsenic chloride is reacted with arsenic sorry, phosphorus chloride is reacted with arsenic chloride to form three molecules of phosphorus pentafluoride and arsenic trichloride, five molecules of arsenic trichloride. Similarly, PCl3 can react with Cl2 in carbon tetrachloride to form PCl5. 2As2O3, arsenic trioxide, okay, two molecules of arsenic trioxide, when reacted with 10 molecules of difluorine, okay, 10 molecules of difluoride, they will form 4 molecules of arsenic pentafluoride and oxygen will be released out. Similarly, the same reaction will be seen out for antimony also. Okay, antimony trioxide, when reacted with difluoride, they will form antimony pentafluoride plus 3 oxygen will be released out. Okay, and bismuth will form pentafluoride by the simple reaction of 2 molecules of bismuth with 5 molecules of fluorides. It will form B4BiF2. 4Bi, F2 will be found out here. Okay. What is the structure? What is the structure of the pentafluorides? The structure of the pentafluorides is bipyramidal. The structure of pentahalides is bipyramidal. Bipyramidal. It is bipyramidal. Okay. Trigonal bipyramidal. Okay. It is trigonal bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramidal. Geometry in which the central atom is sp3d. Okay. The hybridization here is sp3d hybridization. You will see that the compounds are having sp3 hybridization and the structure will be something like this: X, X, X. This is the triangle formation in the single plane, and two halogens will be somewhat like this. Okay, so it is a uh, trigonal bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramidal. This structure is termed as trigonal bipyramidal. Okay. What are the properties of these elements? Okay, acha, one more thing. This angle is 120 degree, and this particular two angles, which is the upper halogen and the lower halogen, they are having 90 degree with the group 15 elements there. Okay, let's talk about the properties of halides. So properties: number one, pentahalides are less stable, are less thermally stable, are thermally less stable. They are thermally very less stable than their corresponding trihalides. Than their corresponding trihalides. Okay, PF5 in is molecular in both the um, gaseous and in both the solid and gaseous state. Okay, while PCl5 exists in molecular in the gas phase only, but exists as a PCl4 plus PCl6 minus in the crystalline state. Okay, what happens? PF5 is present as molecular in both gaseous and gaseous and solid state. Gaseous and solid state. While PCl4 plus PCl6 minus. Okay, this is the structure. This is the occurrence of PCl5. Okay, PCl5 in the crystalline state. In crystalline state, it is present in this type of PBr5 and Pi5 also exist in ionic form only, and the form is the same, similar to that of the PCl only. Okay, PCl5 only. That is this kind of structure will be seen out there. Okay, and Pi is also formed, but the structure is different. Pi4 plus I minus. Okay, and in the oxidation state, in the solid state, but in the solid state, while these both are in the crystalline state, it is found in solid state in this form. Okay, let's move further and have the next property, that is EX5. When combined with X minus, they will form EX6 minus complex. Okay, this is the complex which is formed, and here the hybridization of the central atom changes from sp3d to sp3d. Okay, from sp3d. Here the hybridization of the central atom, that is the group 15 element, is changing from sp3d to sp3d2. Okay, so these were some of the properties of the halides, trihalides and pentahalides found with the group 15 elements. Let's have some of the discussion for the chemistry of nitrogen and its compounds. Okay, some of the nitrogen and its compounds. Let's have some discussion. So dinitrogen. Let's first discuss about the dinitrogens. Dinitrogen. That is N2. Okay, N2. So it was discovered by Daniel Rutherford. The N2 was discovered by Daniel Rutherford, and the general electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3 for that N2. Okay, it is a diatomic molecule. N2 is diatomic molecule, and the bonding is, it is a triple bonded. Two nitrogen is present in a N2 molecule. It is a typical non-metal with high electronegativity. Okay, it is also having high electronegativity next to that of fluorine and oxygen. Okay, fluorine is the most electronegative. Then after that O comes, and after that N2's number comes in the electronegativity. Okay, in the electronegativity. Okay. Next, how we can prepare dinitrogen in the laboratory. So in laboratory, we can prepare it by NH4Cl, which is in aqueous state, plus NaNO2, which is also in aqueous state. Then heating them, we will produce N2 gas plus 2H2O plus NaCl aqueous. Okay, this will be the formation here, and here dinitrogen will be produced when we are reacting ammonium chloride. Okay, ammonium chloride with sodium nitrite. Okay, sodium nitrite to form dinitrogen, water and NaCl. Next, thermal decomposition of ammonia can also be used to prepare the dinitrogen. Okay, thermal decomposition of ammonium dichromate. Ammonium dichromate. Okay, so the formula for ammonium dichromate is NH4 twice Cr2O7. When it is been heated for its decomposition, so after decomposition, Cr2O3, chromium oxide, dinitrogen, and 4 water molecules will be formed out. Okay, this is also a preparation method for your dinitrogen. By action of ammonia with cupric oxide or bleaching powder, we can also produce dinitrogen. By action of ammonia with cupric oxide and then heating it, we will form N2 here. Also, when ammonia is being reacted with bleaching powder, that is CaOCl2, okay, and heating is being done out here, then we will form CaCl2 plus N2 plus 3H2. Okay. Now, how to form very pure nitrogen? Okay, how to form very pure nitrogen? So, pure nitrogen can be obtained by thermal decomposition of sodium or barium azides. Okay, sodium or barium azide. Sodium azide. This is sodium azide at 573 Kelvin. Two atoms of sodium with dinitrogen has been formed out here. Ba and 3 twice heat, barium azide will be there. Barium azide. So here we will form barium plus 3 dinitrogen. Okay, 3 dinitrogen. Also, the dinitrogen can be isolated from the air also. Okay, commercially dinitrogen is prepared by liquefaction and fractional distillation of air, and the air contained dinitrogen, that is whose boiling point is 77.2, and dioxygen whose boiling point is 90 Kelvin. Okay, 77.2 Kelvin for dinitrogen, and 90 Kelvin for dinitrogen. The boiling point is 77.2 Kelvin, and for dioxygen it is 90 Kelvin. Okay, so when the liquid air is allowed to boil, dinitrogen with lesser boiling point gets distilled first, leaving behind dioxygen, and hence the dinitrogen obtained from the air contains traces of oxygen and some other gases as impurities. Physical properties for dinitrogen: odorless gas, odorless gas, and tasteless gas. It is odorless and tasteless. Second, it has two stable isotopes. Dinitrogen has two stable isotopes, that is nitrogen 14 and nitrogen 15. These are the two isotopes of nitrogen. It is non-toxic gas. It is a non-toxic gas. Also, it is slightly lighter than air. It is lighter than air. Okay, and vapor density. The vapor density is 14. Its vapor density is 14. Okay, so these are some of the properties of the uh, physical properties of the dinitrogen or nitrogen. Okay, so litmus. Okay, if the chemical properties of nitrogen, chemical properties of nitrogen. First, litmus paper. On litmus paper it is neutral. On litmus paper, and nitrogen is neutral. Nitrogen is neutral. Second, action with metals. Okay, so when nitrogen is reacted with metals such as reactive metals, active metals such as of the first group metals. Okay, then lithium nitrides will be found out there. Okay, when reacted with lithium nitrides will be found out there, Li3n. Similarly, when reacted with magnesium, on heating it will form Mg3n2, magnesium nitride. Okay, with calcium also it will form calcium nitride, that is Ca3n2 will be found out here. And with aluminium it forms aluminium nitride, Al, 2Al will be found out here, aluminium nitride. Okay, combination with non-metals. What is the combination of nitrogen with non-metals? So dinitrogen combined with non-metals like dioxygen and dihydrogen only. Okay, with other non-metals it does not have any reaction. Okay, next, combination with dihydrogen. How it is combining with dihydrogen? Reaction with H2. How nitrogen is combining with dihydrogen? So here N2 plus 3H2. Okay, in the presence of iron and molybdenum as catalyst at 700 Kelvin temperature and very high pressure, we will see ammonia has been formed out there. Okay, and the heat of formation here is minus 46.1 kilojoule per mole. It means it is a exothermic process. Okay, it is a exothermic process. Reaction with O2, how they are going to react with dioxygen. So N2 plus O2 at very high temperature of 2000 Kelvin here the nitric oxide will be formed out, and the heat of formation here is 135 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so here it is a endothermic process. Okay, so also when this nitric oxide is reacted with dioxygen further, they will form nitrogen dioxide. They will form nitrogen dioxide because nitric oxide is very unstable. Okay, it is very unstable and it will further react with more molecules of dioxygen, and it will form nitric dioxide. Now, combination with the compounds. So dinitrogen combines with some of the compounds to form different compounds, such as it can combine with, it can react with, reaction with compounds. So it can react with compounds such as calcium carbide, calcium carbide to form at 1300 Kelvin, to form calcium cyanamide, calcium cyanamide, cyana, C-Y-A-N, C-Y-A-N, cyana, C-Y-A-N, cyanamide with carbon. Okay. Similarly, it can combine with aluminium oxide in the presence of carbon at 1273 Kelvin to form aluminium nitride and carbon monoxide. Okay, both of these compounds are hydrolyzed on boiling with water to give ammonia. Okay, on reacting this CaCN2, that is calcium cyanamide, with water. Okay, with water we will prepare ammonia. We will prepare ammonia. CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate, will be formed out here, and ammonia will be prepared out here. Similarly, when uh, aluminium nitride is hydrolyzed, it also produces aluminium hydroxide plus ammonia. Okay, so these are some of the reactions. These are some of the reactions which we are going to observe for the nitrogen with different kinds of compounds. What are the uses of dinitrogen? Okay, what are the uses of dinitrogen? So dinitrogen is a raw material. It is a raw material for ammonia preparation. Okay, for nitric acid preparation. It is raw material for ammonia preparation, nitric acid preparation, and calcium cyanamide preparation. Calcium cyanamide preparation. CaCN2. Okay, CaCN2 preparation. Second, it provides inert atmosphere. It provides inert atmosphere in iron and steel industry. Iron and steel industry. Also, we use the nitrogen gas in the flushing out of nitrogen gas into the packaged food substances. Okay, in the packaged food substances, we will use that to prepare a inert atmosphere there also. Okay. In liquid nitrogen, it is used in refrigerant. Okay, liquid nitrogen is used as refrigerant. Liquid nitrogen is used as refrigerant. It is used in glass filled, gas filled thermometers. Okay, in gas filled thermometers as heat sensing material. Heat sensing material. Okay, dinitrogen can also be used for filling up the electric bulbs. Dinitrogen is used for filling, electric bulbs, okay, to reduce the rate of violation of the tungsten filament there. So these were some of the properties of the dinitrogen. Okay, and in the next class we are going to discuss the properties of the ammonia and the further in this chapter we will discuss about the we will discuss more about the oxides of nitrogen and other elements also. Okay, so for this particular session I am ending the class here only, and we will meet in the next session. So thank you.